What's up, creamers? It's me, Hot Joe, and I'm going to talk to Turkey about last night's AEW Double or Nothing 2025, the year of our lives. The first match of the night was Mercedes Moné versus Jamie Hayter for the Owen Hart Cup. It was actually a really good start to the show. The entire match from start to finish was fucking good. You know, Mercedes won, which, you know, I did predict yesterday that Mercedes would win. So far, I am 1 win and 0 losses as far as prediction goes. We had FTR versus Nigel McGuinness and Daniel Garcia, and as I predicted, Nigel was there just, you know, he's a commentator. You know, he's not an active roster member. It's okay for their team to take the loss. FTR is on a heel run push thingy, so it only makes sense that they get the victory because they have momentum going and they needed to keep going. I picked FTR to win that one, so I am 2-0. We had Ricochet versus Mark Briscoe in a stretcher match, and it was quite a good match. A lot of Sabu references in this one. Ricochet was hilarious, as he always is. I believed Ricochet, you know, Ricochet's who I chose to win this one. In the end, Ricochet did get the victory, though I was really pulling for Mark Briscoe, even though I would have lost my streak of being correct so far. I just, you know, you can't help but love that guy. So now I'm 3-0. The Hurt Syndicate versus MJF was, as predicted, just a match to further the storyline of MJF with the Hurt Syndicate, not necessarily a feud between Dustin Rhodes and Sammy Guevara in the Hurt Syndicate. Bobby Lashley seemed to fully embrace MJF now, as MJF helped him. He seemed like he was going to stop MJF from cheating to help them win, and then he gave the little guy a hug. You know, he little brothered the guy. And Hurt Syndicate won, of course, retaining the tag team titles. That is 4 matches that I have got correctly, 0 wrong. We had Speedball Mike Bailey going for the Continental title against Kazuchika Okada. Finally, Kazuchika Okada in AEW is bringing it. You know, he's doing, I mean, he's had 1 or 2 matches where he, you know, he went full Okada. This was one of them. And I think probably because it's incredibly hard to keep up with old Speedball. You know, he's definitely earned his namesake, and it was a good match. I thought it would be a good match, but it was better than I expected. Kazuchika Okada got the victory, and I have 5 correct predictions on the show so far. Timeless Toni Storm defended her Women's World Championship versus Mina Shirakawa. Not only was it a fine match, and by fine I mean great, the correct person won, Toni Storm, and now Mercedes Moné versus Toni Storm will be the Women's World title match at All In, Texas. Mina Shirakawa, you know, she looked great in the match still, and as Toni Storm would say later at the press conference, they are very casual lovers, and they shared a beautiful smooch in the middle of the ring. So I am 6-0 so far. And then we had the match. I'll just call it the match. The Anarchy in the Arena match. Definitely the best Anarchy in the Arena match that we've ever seen. The Young Bucks made their entrance, and they were doing this Founding Fathers thing. So they had this like colonial music playing in the background, and that music was what stayed on in the beginning of the match. And I thought, like, okay, like I like that they're still keeping up the music thing, but this song, come on, this isn't very cool. And then Kenny Omega gets on the mic and then tells them to change the song, and they put "I'm So Excited and I Just Can't Hide It," which is funny because that was the Dynamite theme song for like a couple weeks until people complained so much that they changed it. So it was kind of like a little joke in that direction. And then Kenny Omega had them play Bodies by Drowning Pool, and it was like a fucking party. I mean, it was one of those things where you're watching it and you're like, man, I wish I was there. That seems like so much fun to fucking sing the song along with all these people while people are getting bashed in the head with barbed wire steel chairs and fucking stapled in their mouths. It was a fucking sick match. Eddie Kingston did not return, unfortunately, but I guess he's still just not ready. And Gabe Kidd did get involved, and Hook also got involved. In the end, the Good Boys won, and that means I have won every match I predicted so far, and it seems like I'm on a hot streak, huh? We had the Don Callis family versus Paragon. I get that they put this match in between the Anarchy in the Arena match and the main event because they wanted a buffer match. I just don't think they needed it. I think Will Ospreay and Hangman was such a hyped up match that they didn't need a buffer in between to keep the crowd from getting tired. I think if anything, it just kind of got them more tired, but they did bring them back in the end. The match was fine. The Don Callis family won, and like I all these other matches. I am 8-0. I have not gotten a single one wrong until the main event. Hangman Adam Page versus Will Ospreay. Easily the best match I've seen so far this year. Hangman Adam Page, you know, last week on Dynamite, he said he needs this. And I loved all the subtleties in that, you know, promo battle between him and Will Ospreay. For example, I loved how, you know, when Will Ospreay handed him a beer, he put the beer down. He wasn't drinking the beer. But then as soon as Will Ospreay brings up what he did to Christopher Daniels, that makes Hangman start drinking the beer. So this match, it was just, I don't even know, everything that you want a wrestling match to be, this match was. It had action, it had fucking drama, it was like a Western, you know. There was the time where it was like a quick draw, and Will Ospreay did say that he wants to challenge him in the desert to a shootout, and you don't challenge a Hangman to a shootout. Hangman fucking won that thing, and he won the entire match, and he is going on to face Jon Moxley. 6 years ago, at the first Double or Nothing, Hangman won a title shot at All Out and lost. This year, he won a title match at All In, and he's going to win. Hangman Adam Page is the heart of AEW, and it takes the heart of AEW to win that championship back from the Death Riders. So what did you think of last night's Dynamite, guys? Comment below. Let me know if you predicted the matches, if you got them all right. Subscribe, all that jazz. I love you, and I wish you the best.